Microphone check. One,
Yeah,
two, 1, 2. This is the Blaze the Lion podcast. I am your host, Blaze the Lion. Indeed, indeed. And this is episode 73. We're getting there, almost to 100. All right.
got that special
So,
100 coming up.
so for this whole entire month of May, the month kind of just started, right? But
Mhm.
we're focused on mental health. It's also Mental Health Awareness Month. Um, for everything has a month, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Everything has a month. Everything has a day. But mental health is dire. Mental health is so important. It's so necessary. And I was eager to have this theme come forth because I wanted to have these conversations with various individuals on, you know, their personal stories, on their profession, what they've gone through, and just overall how we how can we help others because again they turn everything into a trend and into a fad and into a way to market and brand and do all this other stuff and what about the individuals, what about the actual people out here, right? So before we get too deep into all of that, right now, if you're watching this, we are live on Facebook on Ice Squad TV, as well as on Ice Squad. No, I just said that. We're on Facebook on Ice Squad TV, as well as on YouTube on the Blaze the Line podcast channel. Indeed, indeed. If you're loving the movement and you would like to send money, all right, we don't take checks over here. Sorry, that's just not what we do. However, you got options. You can go to anchor.fm/blaze the lion/support. And we got three tiers right here, right? We got as cheap as 99 cents, 4.99, and 9.99 monthly. And you get the Blaze the Lion podcast shirts, which is I'm not wearing,
And
but and she's not wearing, we're not wearing, but they're out there. Right? And also, if you just want to send like a one-time donation, you can go to $ Blaze the Lion. See? Simple, simple, simple. Also, I'd like to shout out one of our sponsors, Star Child Social. Are you looking for ways to market, ways to up your marketing? You're looking for ways to brand your company, your idea. Maybe it's a logo. Hmm. Maybe it's a website. Maybe you're lost. Maybe you have someone right now to take care of your social media needs, but they ain't really doing a great job. Whatever it is, if you're looking for help, if you need help in your branding, in your business, in your direction, go to starchildsocial.com. And again, tell them that Blaze sent you. You may just get a discount of some sort. I don't know what it is. Tell them I sent you anyway. Indeed. All right. So on topic now with mental health. This is episode 73. And for tonight's guest, this is someone here who I've seen from a little caterpillar. And she's gone through the motions and she's stretched and she expanded and she kicked some people and did a whole bunch of things and transformed into this wonderful, beautiful human being.
still in process, still in process.
Yeah. But this is someone who I felt the energy, somebody who I felt the realness, someone who has been through certain storms, who have been through certain struggles, and again, does not profess to know it all, but refuses to give up, refuses to be overcome, right? She's an overcomer. Yeah, she's a fighter, and she inspires so many people in the gym as well as out of the gym. She's a parent. She's a just a phenomenal person. She's a motivator. She's a visionary. Hmm. We've had some talks, and
We
she's about
did,
to
we did.
blow
We got
your
over
minds.
We have to
Yeah,
get
you're
together and work.
right. Tonight's guest for episode 73 is none other than Stephanie Perez. Welcome to the pod.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah. All right. So I always tell my guests after my long-winded, weird and awkward introduction, share a little bit about yourself for those who may not know you.
Damn, isn't that the worst part? Like sharing something about yourself. It's like the biggest icebreaker is like, who are you? Um, I started just as a trainer. I mean, what more can I say? You're a trainer for years, and that becomes your identity for a really long time.
Hmm.
So, motivator. Who am I? Motivator. I just like to be around people. I'm just. There's nothing to say about me other than the fact that I just love being around people, and I just love to motivate people and watch them grow. We have a lot of conversations, you and I,
Mm-hmm.
about what makes us tick, and that's really what makes me tick.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah. I
it's
remember, now I'm going to take you back. I
oh
remember once upon a time, um, in the
oh
midst of a
sit back.
pandemic that we had, right? Or that we still have. Mm. And I walked into this gym and I was introduced to you. And first impression, I said, "Damn, she looks tough. I gotta actually put on my charming suit here and see what I can do." Um, but that was at first. Once we started speaking, um, I said, "Oh, but wait a minute. She's not the let's get these numbers. I need results. Blah blah blah. She actually cares about the people." It's like, oh, this is different because unfortunately, in the fitness industry, not everybody cares about the people. That's just what it is. All right.
it
So,
it it truly is. Um, what has just saturated the market. It's really down to the bottom line, down to the numbers itself. So how can you outsell the next club? How can you um, make better numbers? How can you just grind until you can't grind anymore with no sense and purpose, no real no real impact on the community or the people. It's not what it's about anymore. Um, I started years and years ago, um, and it was a little bit. I remember it not being this bad, and it's just transitioned slowly but surely, just to be about the bottom line. We really don't care. Well, most part of the industry does not care how do we emotionally affect people, how do we create that community. It's a big reason why I took on the role that I took at the gym. I wanted to change that little by little.
yeah. So you saying that that's perfect. That leads me to my first official question.
Yeesh.
What is mental health?
Mental health is just everything. You can't really you can't really put your finger on what mental health should be, because for every person it's different. But you can't really start a journey without kind of establishing why are you starting it? What's the purpose? Why are we doing this? Why are we making these decisions? Why are we stepping forward into this fitness plan? Let's just put it in simple terms. What
Mhm.
are the reasons? Why are we stepping forward into this industry? Or why are we stepping over into this 21-day challenge? What is motivating us to do this? And mental health, if you don't have a grasp on it, to me, in my personal opinion, you will continue to fail until you figure out your purpose and why you want to do this. If you do not know your why, you will not succeed. You just won't. And that comes to everything. If you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a plumber, it doesn't matter. If you want to be in the fitness industry, If you do not have a clear why, a clear mental clarity on why you're making these decisions, your journey is just going to fall flat every time. You're looking at the end and you're not enjoying the journey. And it's because you don't have that clarity. To
Mm.
me, mental health comes with that clarity, that sense of knowing who you are and why you're doing this. Um, Easing all of those pains and all of that past that you might be holding on to that you can't move forward from until you actually sit there and sit with it and then move forward. So it's mental health is everything. You can't move forward without it. And like you said at the beginning, it can't just be a trend. We
Yeah.
can't sit here and allow it to become a trend. And it's upsetting to watch people profit over it, just using people's vulnerabilities to profit. So mental health to me is such a important part, especially for me. It was supremely necessary to just have it to be able to continue.
Yeah. Yeah. And I I actually love that because mental health is so vast, right?
Hmm.
It's mental, right? We get it, but it's not limited,
No.
right, to one direction or to one way or one industry. Even mental illness, it varies on so many different factors. It's so vast and it's growing. But as you say, the sharks
Hmm.
are also growing
Yeah.
as well. So they're seeing more victims for me to
There's money and vulnerability,
yeah yeah
and that's a shame. That's a real shame. There is money and vulnerability. There's think about it this way. If I start a journey and I'm dragging along this heavy bag, and in this bag I carry all of these mental illnesses.
mhm,
Spirit, it affects my spirit. It
mhm,
affects how I process, how I make my decisions, my programming, my mental programming, things that I've carried from my childhood. You're taking this on this journey with you. So
yeah,
we need to find a way to create this mental clarity, emotional, spiritual, however it is that you need to get there. We need to get there and we need to let go of all of that heavy shit. Can I say that? I say that. All of that, all of that heavy shit that we carry around. And we're looking at the destination, at the end point, but we haven't figured out what do we have to do to get there? Why aren't we enjoying the journey? Why do we need to get to the end right now?
mm,
What is it? And until we figure it out, it becomes a harder and harder process. It'll actually take you longer to get there because at one point you gotta let it go.
yeah yeah gotta gotta let it go. I am in this pandemic. I had a lot of time on my hands, right? You
We
know,
all
we had time to build with other people. Or to hate on other people. We had
do.
time to binge watch and whatever it was, whatever shows. We had time to go live on Instagram. All these things. And in the midst of this pandemic, that first year is when I got into meditation
Mhm.
and I got into really getting to the root of certain things. I even had talked with my pops about my childhood,
Mhm.
which I knew at some point I should probably have a talk with my
Yeah,
pops, but eh, if it happens,
we keep
and it
putting
was
it aside.
yeah, and it was what better time. So a lot of my baggage, a lot of things that I was holding on to, came to the forefront. It came up in this pandemic. So my question is for you. It's a two-part question. The first part is what has, in your opinion, the overall pandemic done to affect the mental health um, of the world?
Mhm.
And the second part is, how has the pandemic mentally affected you?
Okay. So I was actually coincidentally, you asked me. We I think we've talked about this a little bit. Me and Blaze talk a lot. We talk. Um, I think we live in a society where it's become almost prideful to do things on my own. I got this. I don't need nobody. That's
Hmm.
You hear it all the freaking time. And until we were all isolated, until we were all on our own, until we had potential of not seeing people, I didn't think we realized how much we actually need each other. So I think what the pandemic taught a lot of us, which just comes as a blessing, to be honest with you, we actually can't do this on our own.
Hmm.
We're not supposed to. And this thought process on I don't need nobody, nobody can do nothing for me, I got this all on my own, all this
Self-made.
self-made, hashtag self-made, all of these things. I get it. It's great that if you can do this on your own and you succeeded, that's great. But think about how much better you could have done if you would have gotten a couple of like-minded individuals,
Hmm.
how much bigger it would be at this point. So yeah, you did it on your own. That's wonderful. I applaud everybody who does. It takes a lot to do it on your own. But think about how much happier or how much better the outcome would have been if you would have gotten together with like-minded people and grown. But I think the pandemic brought that to our attention where we're like, oh shit, now we really don't have anybody. Now what? Oh my God, we're alone. What? So now we really, now if social media had any impact on our lives during COVID, it just took over because
Yeah.
people were actually desperate to be in contact with somebody. So I think it's beautiful. I think that part is beautiful. Beautiful. For me, it taught me a little bit more of resilience. Um, it taught me that you can do with the bare minimum because I continued to work during the pandemic, like a lot of trainers did, and actually grew their business during the pandemic because people needed to be in contact with other people.
Yeah.
So, for that same sense and purpose, I had to be out there. I could not stop. I didn't want at that point to slow down. I kind of did the opposite of what most people did, which is I just ramped it up and I wanted to go and I wanted to be out there and I wanted to be in connection with people. Um, for me, it taught me resilience. Like I didn't need everything around me to be able to continue moving forward. So I think that's what it brought to me.
Yeah. It's this pandemic, when your back is against the wall, you don't realize how good you can actually fight. Right?
Yeah.
When you're put in certain scenarios, you don't realize the certain tools that you've had all this time. So a lot of us um try different things. It's just like,
Yes.
oh well, let me try this. Let me do. I never thought about or never, like imagined how this could play out. But here's an opportunity.
You know how many
So
parks I discovered?
see,
Trying to
yeah,
train people, trying to get it out there, trying to go. It's,
yeah,
it's the little
yeah,
things.
yeah. Like those who know me, they knew I turned my complex into a gym. I said, hey, I live in this complex. Come through because we all needed something. Like, what are we gonna do? We're
We
just gonna
figured
wait
out
for
that
these months until.
we all figured out that we couldn't wait any longer to continue to be in community, to continue to be with each other. So whatever little bit they could do with somebody else, they did.
Yeah,
And I just wanted to be there, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. So, in your journey in fitness, trainer, manager, class instructor, all of that, What's has there been a central theme? Has there been a central challenge or struggle that you've seen across the board? I know everybody doesn't have the same exact, I get it, but has it been uh, the most common um, challenge or problem or issue that you've just been hearing over the years?
Damn, I might get canceled. Um, it's to me, it's damn. It it's I'm gonna say it, it's social media.
Mm,
It as much as it benefits us in many many ways, it has become so toxic
mm,
um, in the fitness industry
mm,
because people are no longer being transparent. I'm not to say I'm not part of the fitness industry. I am, and I do the work. I do the workout post, and I do the selfies, and I do all of that stuff. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. When I say social media, I mean the transparency, the the images that we're selling in the fitness industry to, again, the vulnerable community, people who are actually trying to make themselves better, are actually trying to fulfill a goal, and people are just taking advantage of that
yeah.
and selling them things that they don't need. And like we said, during COVID, we had nothing. Had nothing. We had makeshift dumbbells that were rusted, barbells that were falling apart, and we still made it happen. So, how do we look to social media or to any of these quick fixes, the skinny tees? I told you I'm going to get canceled today. The skinny tees, the waist trainers,
Woo.
the body suits, the push up this and the tuck in that. The market itself has become so toxic to where it used to be, the demographic used to be 13 to 18 or 22, right? That's the target demographic that used to have body image issues or body dysmorphia or eating disorders. It has gone from nine, nine
Mm,
years old, we're talking about children,
mm,
to women who have children,
mhm,
women in their 40s,
mhm.
45, 40s, older people that quote unquote know, but we've all fallen into the trap. And I have to say, it is a big part of social media not being transparent. And they can, even the people who are trying to be transparent, still have an ulterior motive with their transparency. So it's kind of become untrustworthy in all sense.
Yeah, it's true. Um, Sorry to break it to you. Sorry to burst your bubble here.
What
All
are we gonna do?
right,
We're gonna debate right now.
but to the guys and the ladies, all right, not all. So I can't say all, but a large percentage of some of these models that you all are watching, you all are idolizing, you all aspire to look like.
They don't look like that.
Guess what? In real life, they don't look like that.
Uh,
And you spending thousands of dollars to look like they don't even look like that. Between the airbrushing, that's one. Between the angles, right? Between
the
the
angles.
search, all sorts of
Lord,
things.
Papa Rib trying to get that waist.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen a lot of these fitness models or these IG models in person. And I'm like, oh, hmm, okay.
Is
Um,
that you?
half of the women
Great
that in
job.
the gym look pretty, better.
Similar.
If not
Let's just say
similar.
similar. Let's just say similar. You
Yeah,
look normal. Let's just say.
yeah. Hmm.
Let's not be mean.
This
Let's just say they look
this is
normal.
interesting. Yeah. Mean would be okay. It's not about me.
Said
But
you're gonna
yeah,
keep me from
that's
getting
the end.
canceled.
but that's the industry, and I get it to a point. It's fitness, so they take out the word fit, right? Because fit, it's turned into how you look, but that's
Hmm.
not
The
necessarily
aesthetic.
fit. You may look fit, but what if you have giant pecs and you're the 8 pack and you can't even do, you know,
You could
or you
have the
have this
same
perfect
stroke.
body and you can't even squat right.
You could have the same stroke. You could have the same, your body fat percentage or the angle in which you took that picture does not define you as fit.
Right.
I used to tell my clients, everybody's an athlete. You move your body, you're an athlete.
Hmm.
You try, you're an athlete. You take a class, you're an athlete. You you just have to want to be on that journey and want to be fit for yourself. Be fit again, that journey. How much better are you getting? Is it bad that you're maybe don't look like the fitness model?
Hmm.
But you might be have better endurance. You might be able to sustain one of our classes for 45 minutes when somebody who has the 8 pack and a full chest and thighs and whatever going on probably can't. So, what is fit? What is fit for you? What?
And it happens from time to time. From I've been doing this for a little bit. Every now and then, I'll get an IG model to bless us with his or her presence in my class.
Oh,
Cool. At various gyms, and it's like, oh, that's blah 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 from. Oh, okay, cool. Unfortunately, what they do majority of the class is,
I know, I know, I know. Record.
and they do a move that we're doing in the class really good
Record it.
for 15 seconds, and then they're there,
They block the sweat and then they go again.
and and then they leave, and I'm like, but wait a minute, hmm. And then you got these women and these men in my class giving it their
Busting it.
all.
Busting. Just going. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I love to see it. I love to see it. And again, it goes to that transparency because now you go online and they put that clip,
Hmm.
just that clip. You're like, look at how fit. And listen, I'm not knocking them. Everybody makes their money how they need to make their money, and everybody has that desire to be famous or whatever it is, and however they need to get there. Hey, bless them. Hopefully they get there and they achieve that goal, and while they're there, they do some good.
Hmm.
Hopefully, who knows? We can't really be too shady about it,
Hmm.
but to the certain extent, we're talking about what is perceived. You have people who might see that person do that one or two push-ups because you and I know we can do a good 3 reps. We joke about it all the time. Let's be real. All I need to do is 3 good reps. That's all. You do the rest. And that's what
Yeah.
they do. But that person at home, you might have discouraged that person. You maybe didn't inspire them. Maybe you discouraged them because they're like, oh, I have to look like you before I step into this
Yeah.
or before I try this. So maybe watch your perspective. Maybe give a little bit of realness to this and say, you know what? This class legit just kicked my ass. I'm only going to show you the good parts because the
Hmm.
bad parts are embarrassing.
Hmm.
And at least you put some vulnerability behind it and you put some
Yeah.
genuine attitude behind it. And you actually show people, hey, I'm struggling too. So that would be more inspirational to me than
Hmm.
seeing somebody whose measurements are 100% on point and their body fat is below 5%. And they just showed us that they could do 15 burpees, but only filmed 2.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Transparency.
Hmm. Hmm. Along this journey, this long, long journey, um, you shared uh, a little bit of the common struggle that you've seen. But now I want to dive into maybe a little bit more of a personal side. Now, we're not asking for the name or the gym or any of that. We're just saying here on the Blaze Online podcast, is there a success story that you would like to share? Is there a certain client or a friend or a family member that comes to mind that you maybe found them or you've seen them in a dark place, whether it was their weight or maybe it was just their mind or their environment, and they were able to do certain steps and to overcome?
Um, and I think that first, before I say anything, what put me on this journey was not just one person, but multiple people who I've seen who have come to me and have told me their stories. And when I realized a lot of people coming to me or to us or to the fitness industry are not, even though they say it's their body, it's always something else. It's always something deeper that you have to go into. Um, and being able to hold space for people when they need you proves to be uh, a more vulnerable and genuine task than the exercise itself. So, with that being said, I won't mention who she is. She actually is no longer with us. I met her when I started my journey. Still had no clients at this point. I was still interning. I won't even mention the gym. She watched me for 3 months from the parking lot of the gym. Never went in. She sat there. I didn't know she existed. She sat there in front of the gym for 3 months. She parked there and she told me her story. She parked there every day and she said, I saw you come in every day. And every day you were just smiling and laughing and blah, 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 blah. And I saw you from the window and I would see you and you were always jumping around and, you know, me, just being me. And one day she finally walks in the gym. It was a Saturday, so it was a quiet day. She walks in the gym and she says, I want you to train me. I don't know who you are. This is the first time I'm seeing you. So she told me a little bit about herself. Excessive body weight um, on the upper scale of the body weight spectrum. Really needing a change. Like she really, really needed someone not to train her, but again, to figure out how can she do this? She couldn't even step up on a 6-inch box. She had very limited mobility. So, Steph, new trainer, doesn't know shit. You know, new trainers don't have that experience like that. So,
Yeah.
how are we going to figure this out? And I listened. I listened to her story. I listened to her why. Um, and we just started. And I was just like, well, we'll figure it out. She had faith in me, and I had faith in her. And we had a big success together, to the point where she was deadlifting and she loved it and she had her own programming. Again, we talked about this, wanting to have them succeed beyond you,
Yeah.
not just keeping them so that they continue to be your paycheck, for no, for lack of better terms, but wanting to see her succeed. She became one of my really, really close friends. And we stopped training and we just stopped training for pay and we started training together.
Mm.
She's, I don't have many training partners and she was one of them. Um, and I believed in her and she believed in me. She rests in peace because she did pass away. But
Absolutely.
her struggle really brought it to my attention. I still get a little about it. Um, it really did bring me to the light that people are not here just because they have a little extra body weight. People are not here because of the little belly fat or the hangy part of their arm, like they call it. They're here for much more. And
Yeah.
you just have to listen. You really, really, our job is not to work out, our job is to listen.
Mm.
What do they need? I think she was a big factor in who I am right now.
Come on, Steph.
Yeah, I know. This- moving on. Moving on. Next question. Sorry.
Yeah, man. All right. Next question will be a little bit lighter. I'm joking. It actually won't be lighter because now we're getting into you.
Oh Lord.
You. Indeed. So, would you like to
Damn.
willingly share with us um, any dark season that you have gone through and that you are working on overcoming or that you have been able to overcome?
So it's a work in progress. Um, I don't ever think that you're fully done working on yourself. I think once you get to a certain level, you got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I try to tell as many people about my story. I just never really openly talk about it like this. So
I mean, it's
um,
just us two talking, you
it's
know.
just you and me. It's just you and
Yeah.
me. I'm gonna be very just gloss over it real quick because it's not everybody's cup of tea. I did come from an abusive past, um, an abusive relationship where I literally used the gym to run away. So the gym, you and I talked about this. The gym was my place to where I could hide, and when I say hide, I mean literally hide. So I would get there at 5 o'clock and wouldn't leave until I knew everybody in my home was asleep. So that way, you live to fight another day, just to say it in better and vague terms. So for me, fitness was my savior. Um, Beaten, verbally abused, mentally abused. It's a lot. So you go through that process, and that's how you identify with people. I'm not here because I'm perfect. I'm not here because I know it all. I'm not here because I'm the wisest. I'm here because I've been through some shit. I'm here because the shit that I've been through made me stronger. I found a way in places where some people aren't as blessed, where they maybe wouldn't have gotten out, where they wouldn't have survived, where they wouldn't be able to tell their story. It's still hard for me to talk about it, which means that it's still a healing process.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of it comes from passion and, and your own survival until you get to that thriving stage of your life. Um, the dark place in my life taught me, one, that I'm stronger than what I ever thought I could be, and two, that you shouldn't only just serve yourself. We're not here just to serve ourselves.
Nope.
We have a purpose. There's so many people that through the years, I've been at this for a really long time. Through the years, you start seeing people who have been through your struggle or have been through similar situations, and you're like, why haven't you talked about this? Why are you telling me? Why why are you coming to me with this? Why am I the person you choose to tell your most vulnerable things to? And it's needed. It's People need healing, and I needed healing. And when I needed healing, I regret to say no one was there.
Mm.
So me being there for others is kind of my, you know what? I went through it by myself. I don't want you to have to do that.
Yeah.
It's not, again, like I said before, we can't all be proud of having to do it on our own. We shouldn't. I shouldn't be proud of having to survive that on my own. I should have been surrounded by people who support me and care for me. And that's what I want to bring. That's what I want. I want that. So from my dark area, which I touched very vaguely, um, that's what I want. I want that to be, quote unquote, what my legacy is. I won't let people do it on their own. I don't want you to have to do it on your own. So from the darkness to the light.
Well, first I want to hold space, and I want um, to applaud you for sharing that, because for sharing both, yeah, your personal story and even the story of your client, because both were not easy,
No.
um, at all. But there are people that need to hear. There are people who do feel like they're all alone and that nobody cares, that nobody understands. And unfortunately, um, there are many of us who are going through similar. You just don't realize that that person you walk past in the gym is also going through, but you all just, you never meet or you never really speak. So having that story, having gone through those storms, and now knowing your why, like, I survived so much, and now I can see. So now when that client comes to me and they're like, "Yeah, I just want to do that for this event," and you're like, "No, I've been through some shit. Like, no, there's
Yeah.
more."
You listen. You just
Yeah.
listen. And it comes. You don't force it. People have to come on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can't force somebody to tell you what they're going through because, like me, I mean, I was in my marriage for 12 plus years. No one knew. I didn't tell a damn soul.
Mm-hmm.
No one ever knew. No one would guess. Economically, financially, we were good. We had beautiful kids that were happy and smart kids. My kids are super smart. Nobody would have ever guessed it. Nobody. I could have stayed another 25 years and nobody would have ever known. Nobody would have ever second guessed what was going on. Um, it took a long time for me to actually open up and say it. I didn't tell my dad. If you want a little more detail, I didn't tell my father until last December,
Wow.
and that was a part of my healing. I had
Mm-hmm.
to come out and actually say these things because you can't heal if you don't acknowledge. You can't hide it under the rug. And like we were talking about earlier, just keep dragging it. Why are we dragging this? Let's let it go. Let's find somebody who will hold space for you. Let's find that community that will actually listen. It's in our darkest, most excruciating pain that we have to realize we're going to survive this one and we're going to get out of it and we're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we just have to be patient with our pain. I think
Mm-hmm.
we don't really think about our pain as a blessing, and that's a hard concept to grasp. Your pain is teaching you something. What is it teaching me? Why am I in this much pain? Why does this mean so much that it hurts so bad? What am I going to learn and what am I going to move on? How am I going to move on from this? Um, it's harder on your own.
Yeah.
It's really hard on your own. I didn't start seeking help until I realized it doesn't matter how good I look. It doesn't matter how old I get until I actually look for a way to heal this. I'm going to drag it forever. And I'm never really going to be at the part of my journey where I can help others. You can't hold space for others if you have to hold on to your pain.
Yeah. Oof.
Quote,
Oof.
quote.
Woof. Whew. Marketing team, are you catching these gems? Whew. I want to dive a little bit deeper
Deeper.
into what you do on a daily, on a weekly
Oh Lord.
to help that healing journey. But before we go there, we're gonna make it a little bit light. We're gonna go into a segment of our show. Steph, do you know what time it is?
No, not really. What time is it? Hello?
You all in TV land. Do you know what time it is? I think there's like a delay, something.
Oh, can you hear me?
There we go. Thank you. Color time.
There you go.
Color time.
Oh, there you
Color
go.
time.
There they are.
Hey. All right. We are in color time. So it's the portion of the show where the host will say an array of random colors. For each of those colors, you, my featured guest, will share what that color means to you. It could be one word, it can be an array of different words, it can be logical, it can be spiritual, it can be funny, whatever that word or those words mean to you. So, with that said, are you ready?
Super ready. Let's go.
All right. The point of no return. Here we go. And also in the chat, feel free to give us some deliciously challenging colors
Oh Lord. Don't.
to stump or to help stuff. All right. Here we go. Color number one, hot pink.
Ah, my favorite color.
Hey.
That's all I got for you on that one.
Oh,
My favorite color. That's it.
I would think for your favorite color, there'd be a
My
plethora
favorite
of.
color. It's just fun. It's just fun. Love it.
Okay. Color number two, salmon.
Isn't that another variation of pink? Um, fish. Fish. That's all I can think about when you say salmon. Shirts.
Okay.
Nothing particular on the salmon.
Nothing. Okay. All right. I like that. Let's go with color number three, cucumber green.
Money.
Hey. Hey. Yeah. Money and cucumbers. I can dig that.
I can do this. Some hydration.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the good and the bad. You get them all.
Yeah. All right. What are we on? Number four, right? Color number four. Let's go with sunflower yellow.
Oh, damn. Sunflowers mean a lot to me.
Hmm.
That one hit me. That one got deep all of a sudden. Sunflower yellow. Um, Sunflowers are energy. Um, if you know, a sunflower turns, it's the only flower that actually turns towards the sun. So it seeks out the warmth and the energy of the sun. I love a sunflower. If there's no sun, sunflowers turn towards each other for energy and for resilience. So sunflowers do mean a lot to me. I actually have one tattooed on my back. So
There we go. Would you like to show us?
no, I'm not getting up.
Huh. Fun fact. Here we go.
Fun fact.
Sunflowers are resilient. I
Yeah.
dig that.
I think that
Color
energy.
and energy. Man, energy is everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, the energy of a salmon. All right. Um,
I have the energy of a fish. That's all I think about when you say salmon.
Color number 5, right? Yes, 5. Let's go with. I'm like reading you here. Let's go with lavender.
Tranquility. Not just because it's lavender, it's that peaceful color. It's just like peaceful, tranquil. Put some scent behind it. Good. Can visualize it, visualize it. Go there.
Hmm. I think of warm, clean clothes.
Oh, yes. That
Hmm.
nice little room spray.
Hmm.
Some nice little napping time. Hey, it's past my bedtime.
Yeah. Huh. Nice. Let's give you maybe 2 more, and then you're off the hook, and then we get back to your pain, to our pain, to,
Pain.
to your
Okay.
story. Okay. Next color. Let's go with chalkboard black.
Ooh, obscure is the word that comes to mind. Um, Darkness, just vacant,
Hmm.
the absence of color. So that's what comes to mind with black.
Okay. Final color. Hmm.
You're thinking way too hard on it. I go with some color like chartreuse. Don't make me have to Google a color. I don't know what color chartreuse is.
Let's go with. Let's go with the easy color. This is a easy one. Let's go with hybrid green.
What is hybrid green? Just green? We said cucumber green, so what's hybrid green?
I think a hybrid green as like the
Greenish yellow?
kind of like a brighter, yeah. I like an electric. Most of like the electric cars have like that.
Like a neon type
Yeah,
green?
yeah, yeah.
Just loud. just,
Damn.
just loud. I don't know. That's the only thing when we say hybrid green comes to mind is like loud. Splash of color.
Hmm. Okay.
Happiness, I guess that comes to mind too.
So you associate loud with happiness.
Have you heard me?
Enough said. Okay, this wraps up this portion of color time. Good job, good job. Not too bad.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Not too bad. Not too
I,
bad.
I pride myself on knowing my colors.
Roy G. Biv, right?
Hey,
This is rainbow. All right. So let's go back to the darkness now.
color.
So,
Go back to colors.
um, so you shared a bit of your story. So there are so many ways to heal, or there are so many people who claim they have ways to heal.
Mhm.
And everyone speaks about healing,
Mhm.
but very rare do we actually hear, well, how do we heal? How do you get to the root? How do you bring up all that? Like, what do you actually do? Is it a one time thing? Is it a daily thing, a weekly thing? How have you
No.
been able to do it?
So, what's big with for this topic right here is as much as you work on your body in the fitness industry, as hard as you work, you dedicate like myself at one point 6 days a week, 3 hours, 1 day of rest, and it's active rest. That's how much time you have to dedicate to your mental health.
Hmm.
That's how long of a journey it is. If you ask me how long I've been working out, I'd say 11 years plus more. So why am I just now picking up? And I'll be honest, 100%. Probably since COVID is when I decided I need to work on my mental health. I need to not be wearing this mask of happiness and happy go lucky and then cry my way home or fight depression or fight all of these things and just be afraid of admitting I need to work on this as much as I work on my aesthetics, on my external. I need to work on my internal, my natural way of being will flourish more as I work on my mental health. Because if not, it becomes a burden.
Yeah.
And you might feel this way. Being an instructor takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of your personal energy. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of motivation. And when you yourself are not there, it's so hard to do. It becomes a chore to do it because you're not in that space, but you have to be in that space for others.
Yeah.
So you're holding that energy and you're being Miss or Mr. Happiness and Miss or Mr. Social and Miss or Mr. Everything to everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
you haven't decided what you are to yourself.
Mm.
And you haven't sat down and say, what do I need to do to be the person that I want to be, the person who I'm intended to be, which is the same person, same instructor, same group fitness manager, same GM, same person, but just be it genuinely from a genuine space. This is who I am when I go home. This is who I am at every point of the day because I worked on myself.
Yeah.
So that gift that you give to others, you have to give it to yourself. Um, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to, we have to work on it as much as we work on our fitness. Hopefully in the future, you know what I mean. We'll get to do that.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, it requires work. You realize the root of that trauma. You realize what your why is. You find your purpose. All those are necessary. All those are important.
Mhm.
Very important. However, it doesn't stop there. Right? And as you uncover more, the more you realize there's more for you to uncover.
Yes. Yes. It again, it goes back to that destination where we are obsessed with what the end is going to be. Where are we at the end of this? I'm going to be 25, 35 pounds lighter and I'm going to feel great about myself. That's what most people see at the end, including myself at one point. If I'm lighter, if I'm skinnier, if I'm fitter, if I'm stronger, I'm going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
No, what's the root of that? What are you carrying?
Yeah.
What is the load? You might be 20, 25, 35 pounds lighter, but it might be in your heart. It might be in your head. You might be have more clarity. And once that clarity comes to you from working on it, healing comes in many shapes and forms.
Mm-hmm.
You might be have lucky enough to afford therapy. You might not be lucky enough to afford therapy, and you just might seek out a good friend that holds space for you. You might meditate. You might do affirmations. Whatever works, you might do them all. At one point, you
Mm-hmm.
might get yourself like I am, where you're just doing them all just to make sure that you are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at any point of the day. But we have to make it a priority as much as we make our fitness journey a priority.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we just got to put them together.
And it shows you because think about first thing in the morning, right? First thing in the morning, not everybody, but a lot of people, we're so focused on everyone else. So rather than I just woke up, let me spend time with myself,
Mhm.
right? Whether that's meditation or just being still or just to look outside at the sunrise,
Mhm.
whatever it is. But a lot of people, we're so glued to what's the world doing, what's everybody else doing. Let me check my emails. Let me rush right into work mode while I'm still in my PJs. Let me check
Mhm.
my social media. Let me see what. And it's like, but what about you?
Mhm.
So you got to take care of yourself. So for me, um, if I don't take care of myself first thing in the morning, it's kind of like the workout, right? If you don't get that workout in,
I'm
you're like,
there in the
oh,
AM.
I'll put it off till it makes it so much harder because things happen and things come
Drags
up
on.
and
Drags
hmm
on. I had to find an unconventional way of meditating. I'm not the most still human being on this planet. I am always going. Anybody who knows me knows I'm on 10 all the time. So I have a therapist. I'm not afraid to admit that. I have a therapist. And I told her, hey, is it okay if I meditate while I run? And she's like, slightly unconventional, but if you can get your mind to focus while you're running, go for it. If that's what clears your mind, then go for it.
yeah,
So people don't understand why I in a gym full of treadmills that I can run endlessly, but I
yeah,
choose to go outside as much as I can. Sometimes I can't make it, but most of the time I can. And I run, and I'm not running to anything but meditative music, or maybe an affirmation, maybe a video of somebody talking about your inner child and how to heal it.
hmm
All of these things that for some people they might have to be seated or they might have to do it before the day interrupts them. I have to do it running.
yeah,
It's just my personality, and everybody has to find what works for them.
yeah,
And telling people that it is only one way is so wrong. Telling
hmm
them that they have to do this, if not, or they have to buy this program in order to receive any type of change in their life. Find what works. Running is free. I run, it's free. It doesn't cost me anything. I go to the beach, the ocean is free. I mean, you
yeah,
don't have to be uber wealthy to afford mental health. You don't have to be uber wealthy to enjoy fitness. You you don't have to have all of these things that they're selling you, um, just to profit off of you being vulnerable and you're desperate. Most people, I can tell you, at one point, I was desperate. I needed help, and I had to admit that in whatever shape or form this help was coming to me, I had to be open to it
yeah,
because I wasn't the meditative person. I wasn't the chakra person. I wasn't the stone person. That wasn't me. But if I could find some peace and clarity in it, why can't it be me?
hmm
Why can't I make a shift? What am I afraid of? Most people are afraid of making a change because they're afraid of who they're going to find on the other side. Who are they going to lose if they become a better version of themselves? Who is going to accept them? Are they still going to like them if they become better? Am I going to like myself if I become a better person? So a lot of it is a scary choice that you have to just kind of close your eyes and go, whatever's going to make me feel better, whatever's going to help me heal, that's what I'm going to do.
yeah, yeah. Ah, this was church today.
Church in front of everybody
Yeah,
at church.
yeah. This is great. This was great. I always end my podcast with, uh, with a few things. So not just one thing, actually. Um, First thing is there a way? Do you even want people to reach out to you? And if so, is there one way? Is there certain ways for people to reach out to you if they want help with their fitness, if they just want a little bit of guidance, or if you just want to hear your lovely voice over the course of this life?
I'm open to anybody who really does want to reach out, and genuinely wants to reach out. And um, let me be very clear. I'm on a path that is going to make me more available to people who actually need this. The plans are to continue to grow and merge fitness and mental health. I'm not quite there 100% yet, and I don't want to fool anybody and say that I am 100% ready to launch all of these ideas and craziness that I have going on in my head. Um, but anybody who really does need to reach out to me and feel that I can help them in any way, shape, or form, they can. They can reach out to me on my Instagram. Um, it's public. I opened it for everybody, so you can go there and just go scroll through my life. But they can go to my Instagram, Steph_3041. They can just reach out. If there's anybody who needs me to hold space for them, I want to be that person. I feel like it's something that I have to do, that I want to do.
Hmm.
And I know that the future plans are going to be so much better. And it's going to be an organized thought with a good community of people. And that's the plan. The plan is to find those people that don't want to work alone and work as a team and as a unit and actually be there for the fitness community and the mental health community. Trying to make a little bit of change. It doesn't have to be big changes, maybe just little changes here and there, right?
Change is big.
Little changes here and there.
And yeah, I'm excited.
You're excited? I'm excited.
Yeah.
There's a lot to come. There's a lot in the future. It's
Yeah.
there. This was just the beginning steps. You were my first step. So
There we go. There we go. So you heard that, right? Steph's gonna have her own podcast, right? She.
throw my stuff out there like that.
Let's go. You're on your own now.
I'll team up with you first, and then we'll go from there.
Hey.
We'll do mental health Monday.
Ooh. See. Yeah, we gotta tuck these ideas in.
We got to get them organized. We got to get them going. I have a lot of them. So yeah, I mean, there's more down the road. My main goal, I don't know if I overshare a little bit too much of my plans. My main goal is to create that community, create an industry, maybe not change the industry, but create a part of the industry where you can actually be proud of being a part of it.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to fit the age bracket or the size or the stereotype just to say that you're a part of it. A part of the fitness industry and mental health industry, where you can actually bring it all together and people can help each other rather than just one person telling you what the right way is. There is no one way. I always, the best part, and you and I have this in common when we teach a HIIT class. The best thing about the HIIT class is watching people help each other.
Mm-hmm.
When that new person comes in and you know that that veteran person has been there almost every week and they see that new person and they're just like, hey, this is how we do this.
Yeah.
This is how this gets done.
Yeah.
If the perfect way to visualize the fitness industry would be that way. People take each other by the hand and they just help each other along the way. What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. The profit side can still be there. But how do we make it so that there is the profit side of it, but we incorporate all the needs that we have as human beings versus just cannibalizing on their vulnerability.
Yeah, absolutely.
So from that point, you ready?
Always ready.
You ready? I'm ready. You ready?
Always ready. Always ready. Whew. Indeed, indeed. This was needed. This was necessary. This was fun. This was entertaining. This was
I hope so.
I feel a little bit of everything. Yeah. Indeed,
You got the
indeed.
feels.
In closing, I always ask my guests, is there a phrase, is there a quote, is there anything that you would say to that person listening, whether they're watching us live, whether they're watching the replay or they're listening to the audio, who right now they feel stuck right now, they're just not sure what to do, where to
Don't
go.
don't stop. One of my favorite, it's gonna sound really bad, but one of my favorite phrases that just resonated with me at one point was, why would you stop in hell?
Hmm.
If you're already suffering and you're in this excruciating pain, don't stop there. Don't sit. I mean, cry. Do whatever you got to do to get yourself through it.
Yeah.
But cry, scream, yell, kick, whatever it is that you got to do. But don't stop there. Don't pause in hell. You're already there.
Hmm.
You might as well just keep going. Just
Mm-hmm.
keep going straight through. At the end of it, there will be light and it will get better. And what you learn from that is that every time you fall, every time you're in hell, you get out of there a little bit faster
Hmm.
because you learn, you reprogram your mindset. This is a setback. It's not necessarily hell,
Yeah.
it's a setback. And every
Yeah.
time you bounce back a little bit better and a little bit stronger. So don't stop in hell. Keep going.
There you go. There we go. Indeed, indeed. All month, mental health. All month. And it may not even stop there. We'll see. But for right now, all month of May, we're focused on mental health. For those who have been watching the podcast, well, after May, it'll be a small little hiatus for that will complete season 3. And then we will return in the fall with season 4 with more themes and more guests and more exciting ideas and some tweaks and all sorts of things. But in the meantime, all right, there are tons of videos on the YouTube. We're also on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. So this podcast, episode 73, will be available on all those outlets. This replay right here on YouTube will be available right after I can stop talking and click end, and you can watch the replay. All right. So if you missed some of this, we're not going anywhere. You can still catch it, the video or the audio. Steph, once again, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your time. People all in the chats. Is that a dolphin? Oh, that's the magic sound. Okay, sorry. See
That's
that
the
one.
what sign?
Okay.
What are they sending you over there?
I'm
Oh,
getting
okay,
all
there we go.
sorts of yeah, looking like tacos and
I don't know what's going on over there. Sue got it all going on.
hand claps and microphones and fire emojis and magic and all that. Indeed, indeed. You
Love
are
Sue.
loved. Whether you are told this often or not, you are loved.
Thank you,
And
thank
it
you.
was evident. I mean, I already knew that, but
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
tonight for sure it was evident. So thank you again for
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 more to the future. It's not the end. We're just gonna keep going.
yeah. This is we're just getting our toes wet.
We're just experimenting right now.
Indeed. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Ha. To my listeners, to my audience, thank you again for tuning in. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you like this episode and that you subscribe to the Blazing Line podcast channel. And tell a friend. All right. If somebody missed this and the whole time this is going on, you're thinking about that friend or that family member or maybe that ex. Oh,
Mm.
mm, mm. I mean, that's at your own risk, but whatever. All right. Click share. All right. You just never know. It may just be what they needed to hear at
I
that
hope
right
so.
time. So, indeed, indeed. This was the Blaze the Line podcast. As we always say, peace and love.